Hello all. Good evening. Good morning. Can you hear me? Hey. Okay. Can somebody
Yeah,
speak?
hi Raghavan.
Hey,
Yeah,
Ganesh.
we can hear you. Yes.
Good evening. Thanks. Yeah. So let's wait for a few minutes. Yeah. Sorry for the delay. There is a network issue. So, and I've done a dental treatment, so I will not be able to speak today. I'll be sharing the slide and I'll request Parvesh to run the call today. Yeah. Just give me let's wait for 1 or 2 more minutes for others to settle down. Yeah. If anybody else would be joining. Hey, Parvesh, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Raghavan.
Thanks. So I made you as a host, right? Just give me a minute.
Okay.
I hope you got the topics right. I'm preparing a slide as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that we can run it through. So you can make the dynamic programs on the flow, right? Parvesh, it's not that tough, I suppose, right?
Yeah. I just wanted to make it in a more interactive way
So
so that even I can also learn from people.
go ahead, as what you please, right?
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah. Hey, Satish.
Hey, hello, how are you doing?
Okay, thanks, Satish. First, thanks for joining.
Raghavan, I just want to understand, anybody face any problems joining?
Yeah, because Parvesh was not able to open the bridge, so I have opened it. Maybe.
Okay. First of all, thanks, Raghavan. Raghavan went through root canal today, and with all the pain that he has come, actually, thanks a lot, Raghavan. You don't need to speak, Raghavan. We will speak today.
Sure.
Take rest.
Thanks. I'm just finishing the slide, which I will give it to Parvesh. All right. So yeah, which is done, and we can. Just give me 1 quick minute, guys. I'm just done. All right. Okay. I'll be sharing the content. Okay. Parvesh, how do I share it with you? I'll give it in the PPT in this thing or WhatsApp itself.
Yeah. Anything works fine.
Sure. Sorry for the delays. Yeah. I have shared it to you over WhatsApp, Parvesh. Yeah, thank you.
Sure.
All whoever had joined late, right? Welcome to the day 1. Yeah, so we are devising the program as what we discussed yesterday. And the videos will be shared. Yesterday's videos also will be sharing it sometime, right? So the topic, Parvesh will be running the program. It's going to be a core Java refresher today. Just as we know that there are some beginners as well. It's good to have some basics covered. So we plan to have some core Java refreshers first, couple of days, right? Most essential topics. And then we would have advanced Java
Are you
refresher.
sharing the slide? I'm not able to see the slides.
Yeah, I can share, but I've requested Parvesh to run it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can, because he would have a better control on the slides, right? So I've shared it to Parvesh and I made him as a host as well. By the time he's downloading and keeping it ready, I'm giving a context to other people, right? So we plan to have first week, right, is going to be a refreshers, probably core Java refresher, 2 to 3 days we will have. First day we'll have absolute basics and, from looping, branching and all that. Maybe, yeah, I'll just walk you through. And second day, we'll have a bit more topics on classes, objects, packages, and all that. Third day, that's the last day on core Java, where we'll have IO handling and packages plus Java 8 concepts like Lambda streams. So that will be fine for us. And then advanced Java refresher, we'll have JDBC plus we'll have design patterns, few design patterns, just for our understanding. How do we have, just for, like DAO, singleton, MVC, etc. So those design patterns most commonly used and what is required for a typical enterprise application development. So with that, advanced Java, JDBC, and maybe, some probably required XML or JSON file processing, file handling, that we will cover that. So that's advanced Java. Then enterprise Java refresher, we will have one session on JSPs and servlets. We'll cover the absolute basics. Then in between, we will have some mini projects, right? Probably one mini project on using core Java. Once we are covering that, then after we cover the enterprise Java, advanced Java and enterprise Java, we will have one more mini project. We will do it all together, and we'll also give you some practice projects to develop so that people will have some hands-on. See, this is again, we are still to, probably have the bifurcation of the people based on their experiences, as what we discussed yesterday. But considering the fact there are people who are new to the programming as well, for them already we have discussed, they need to do a lot of their exercises, right? They need to do their homework, but we are trying to have a common ground to a decent extent so that everybody will be able to cope up. So that's the agenda, guys. Parvesh, hope you are able to set right.
Yes.
Sure. Please do share your screen. Yeah, start from the beginning. Yeah, slideshow.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Hello. Good evening. Parvez here. You can call me Parvez.
Slide one, Parvesh. Sorry. Go
Yeah.
from slide one. Yeah, and make it a slideshow. Yeah, then you can toggle. So its stage is all yours.
Okay.
With all due respect, I'll stay muted, guys. Thanks everyone for joining. Good luck, Parvesh.
Thanks a lot, Raghavan, for coming all the way. As I told, Raghavan has some root canal treatment. He will not be available for this entire week. Raghavan, you're not available for the entire week, right?
Yeah, but I'll be helping with the contents. Minimal
Thanks for coming.
Thanks. Yeah, take care.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Any new joinees today? People who has not joined yesterday and then they joined now? Anyone? No one. Okay, perfect then. Okay, you can start.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Hi. So I request most of the people to be interactive. That way, even I also can learn from this session. You guys have learned, things which I haven't learned. I have missed. Okay. No one is, master of anything here. So you learned, if you're going to teach, you will be, master in that one. So make sure maximum you guys interactive, ask doubts, that way it will help, even me to know much better about you, as well as we progress. Okay. So we'll start with the day one. Okay. As core Java, most of the time, as we progress in our career or, in our college or wherever, we just have started the core Java and almost we have end up in Spring or Spring Boot and most of the development. Okay. And we don't give much preference or much importance for the core things, as the days goes. So we can just think this as an opportunity. Again, we can head back to our, consider like a childhood days, and we can learn like what is again core, what is Java. It's like a refresher for us, for our, brain. So what we have learned from the day one when we started Java journey. Okay. So
sorry to interrupt, Paresh. I have just two announcements. Shall I announce it and then I will go
please.
because I might need to go for another meeting also.
Sure.
Okay. So first of all, thanks all for joining. Hello everyone. And you can unmute and then say hello.
Yeah, hello.
Okay.
Yeah,
Very
hello,
good.
Satish.
Okay. So first rule here. This is not your typical conference where speaker comes and try to speak what he wants to speak. Here speakers are coming to speak what you as an audience want them to speak. How do they know what you want? Is only when you speak up. Then only they will know. The more that you speak, the better that we can help support you. One. Is it clear to everybody?
Yes.
Yes,
Perfect. Okay. Now, point number 2. As we promised yesterday, after your feedback, like that's what I keep saying, right? The more that you speak, the better that we understand the situation and the better that we can go and check. So what we did is, we got some JDs, requirements, basically the same way that you apply for a job. On the other side, people also need people to do work, right? So don't consider that we alone need other people. Companies also need us. So we reached out to companies and then got the profiles. We will be doing we will be doing some bucketing work where the companies put lot of extra stuff and all those stuff. That we will need to do some filtering and then we will come back to you. But you can, we can tell now that we have one backend developer opening and QA developer opening. That is what at least we confirm. We got some other requirements like DevOps and all this stuff. We simply said no, we are not doing any DevOps at this point in time. We'll do it later. So there are QA engineer, there are backend engineers that we got it already. So now after this call, I also want to segregate this audience who all have prior experience in Spring Boot and all those stuff. Please put a note in the chat, then Parvesh will collect and all those stuff. So that will be helpful for us. And then another thing, Parvesh, from your side, just keep a note of people who are joining every day. We all were informed that there will be an evaluation criteria, correct?
Yes, Satish.
Okay. Now who said yes?
Yeah, it's me, Parvez.
Yeah, yes.
Parvesh. No, I don't want yes from Parvesh. Parvesh can keep quiet.
Yeah.
So who said yes now?
Yeah,
Who said
yes.
yes now?
It's Chakravarti.
Okay,
Yeah,
Chakravarti. Okay. Okay, Chakravarti. Now, since you answered, you deserve a gift. That gift is I will give you another question.
Okay.
Can you tell me what are all the areas that a Java developer works? How do I categorize what type of area that Java developer works? Forget about experience.
Can you come back again?
So how do you categorize a Java developer? Okay, this Java developer works on this area. This Java developer works on backend API. Almost I gave one answer already. Apart from backend API, what are the other 2 areas that we can see Java developers working?
It's enterprise Java applications you can consider.
Okay, then
in application development, Android development, we can consider.
Okay.
Regarding web services, also we can consider.
That is what enterprise development is. Okay, we will keep it very, very simple, guys. Okay. At the end of the day, all the effort that we put here, of course, we want to learn something new. These sessions will be really, really useful for you just to learn also as a thirst to learn. But apart from that, we have a very, very defined goal, right? We want to get a job. That is why we are doing all this. We want you to get a job. So now when you need to get a job, first of all, you need to understand what are all the jobs that are there and which fits you. That is very, very important as an individual. You don't need to rush behind all the options. Be rest assured, if you're strong in one area, we will put all the effort to find a job in that area and then we'll try to connect you there. Okay. Now consider there are 3 categories. Okay. Predominantly in Java, people will be backend developers, API developers. Those who work on Spring Boot, especially, or Quarkus, or Micronet, or Helion. These are all the frameworks, that API development framework. This is what the one major area. I hope everybody knows about this area. Am I clear?
Yes.
Yes, Satish.
Yes. Now the second area, which is like booming, but it is becoming a field of its own, that is called data engineering. People who work on Apache Kafka, Spark, Niffy, camel, data integration, all this, they come from data engineering background. That is category number 2. Then there is the third category. As we go down, it will be like limited opportunities, but it's an elite opportunity where people work entirely on platform side. They work on core logics like JVM fine-tuning, performance fine-tuning, performance engineering, and particularly people who are coming from telecom domain. They work at the router level. These are all system programming through Java. So that is core Java, in which we can comfortably remove core Java, because when I'm saying core Java, don't get it with the core Java course that you are going through now. That is not what I mean. But JVM level stuff, we can actually say we will not go that much detail because there will not be many more opportunities there. But one area that gives us more opportunity is Spring Boot and then data engineering. So now between you also need to give Parvesh, where do you want to be? Whether you want to become an API engineer or you want to become a data engineer. That also I need. So I asked for 2 details, right? What are the 2 details that I asked? Anybody?
In which role we want to work on based on the categorization you have made.
Correct.
We want to specify clearly.
Okay. Yeah, put that and then we will take it. Now coming to this evaluation criteria, the more that we categorize, we'll make sure that the evaluation criteria also varies between these 2 groups also. I will just give you a hint about evaluation criteria. You can take a notes. I'm just giving you a question paper out now itself. People who are joining late, they will not be informed about this. The early starter, you should have some advantage. So this is how the evaluation criteria will be. We will be observing people who are very sincere to attend the class on time, because sincerity has value both in your professional work as well as the kind of work that we do. Point number 1. Okay. Point number 2. We will be evaluating the core Java skill set like collections, especially collections. That will be collections and object-oriented principle. Point number 2. Point number 3, if you are a data engineer or a Spring Boot, API developer, you will be asked question on that area. These are all the 3 steps. So in which the first 2 is common. Any line that you want to go, the first 2 is common. What are the first 2? Lakshmi?
First, attending the sessions as early as possible, like on time. And the second thing is like collections and API framework.
Object-oriented core language. Core language pieces, object-oriented and all the stuff. Perfect. Okay. Now, what is the third criteria?
Third criteria is on a Spring framework, on which platform that we are going.
Maybe. I think we need a better answer. Chakravarti, can you give the correct answer? So based on your line of work, Lakshmi, either you will be asked data engineering questions or API questions, not both.
Okay.
Lakshmi, is it clear?
Okay. Yes. Data engineering or API. Any of them.
That whatever that you choose. Or if someone says, no, Satish, I want to be part of both, you let me know both the opportunities, then we will be asking you both the questions. You can be part of, no one will deny that you need not be part of that and all those things. You can be part of everything, but you also have a choice where you can say, no, I want to be an expert in this area. This is where I want to go. You can say that. This will be the evaluation criteria. I hope this is very clear to you guys. Okay. All the very best.
Satish, one small question. So can you please elaborate on data engineering?
Okay.
What they do?
So, what they do. Okay. Now, good question deserves a good answer. Sorry if I'm taking 5 minutes of your time, Parvesh. Shall I answer this question correctly?
Please go ahead, Satish. Yeah.
Okay. So, Lakshmi, we all hear about this artificial intelligence and machine learning now, right? There is a lot of hype.
Yes.
Okay. Now, artificial intelligence or machine learning is something that you will arrive at. That is what artificial intelligence and machine learning is. But actual thing is, it's like this. If I am telling you, you need to go to Palakkad, but then at the end, I know that you are supposed to go to Ernakulam. Basically, I gave a wrong data to you.
Okay.
Where will you reach Palakkad, right? Not Ernakulam.
Yes.
Okay. Basically, the problem is the correct data is very, very important. Correct? The validity of the data is very important. That is one problem. There is also another problem. I want you to book the ticket for the conference. This is what I want you to do. Now, how do you book?
Based on the invitation, I can book, right?
Okay. I understand my question clearly. Okay, maybe I will say, book the ticket for the movie and give me the
Okay.
ticket. Now I'm asking you this question. Tell me whether you can do what I'm asking you.
So either I book an online or I can go to the nearby movie theaters and I can book the theaters.
Okay, this is a
sorry,
fundamental.
tickets.
This is a fundamental problem. Now you need to
Yes.
understand my question. All that I'm saying is book a ticket, but my question is not complete. When I'm saying book a ticket, you should know which movie, which show time. Without that, you cannot.
Yes.
So basically, there is a lack of data. So the
Yes.
first problem is there was a problem in the data, and in the second problem, there is lack of data. Right? Now,
Yes.
data engineering is the prior task of this data science and artificial intelligence and machine learning, where these data engineers are the one who's responsible to make sure you have quality and quantity data, enough quantity data to the software or decision makers, so that they can, whether it is artificial intelligence or human intelligence, you need to make on top the correct data, enough data, correct? Otherwise, the decision will become wrong.
Okay.
Okay, that is what data engineering is all about. These data engineers are solely responsible to make sure they give right set of data with right set of quantity. How they do that inside data engineering, it has 5 different stages. Okay, that probably we'll cover in a detailed manner, but I will go very quickly. You need to extract the data, prepare the data, enhance the data, transform the data, and then you load the data. So this is actually behind the screen, there will be 5 different areas. In fact, once you guys join the company, you will not be doing everything that is related to data engineering. You will be part of either data loading or data transform or data repairing, data enrichment or data extraction, any one of this, or sometimes all of this. But that is rare. That is how data engineering will work. And in order to get into data engineering, the skills that is required is you need to be highly logical. API you can write with syntax alone, but if you want to do data engineering, you need to logically think whether I have the right data or I have a right quantity data. That is logical thinking is very, very important. If you are going to data engineering, mostly you will be asked about this analytical problem solve and all those stuff.
Okay.
Data structure and algorithm makes more sense in that area compared to API development. Did I answer correctly?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks. So Parvesh, you take it forward. So
thank you, Satish.
Thank you, Lakshmi. So be part of all the classes. Don't miss any classes, and you will be asked questions from your classes only, not outside the syllabus. All the very best. Over to you, Parvesh.
Yeah, thanks, Satish. Thanks even teaching for me as well. Thank you. I'll just quickly go, through the participants. I have got Bhaskar, Vishal, Chakravarti, Dhananjay, Lakshmi, Priya, Nimesh, and Rahul, Suman, Teja, and Yatish. Thank you everyone for joining. Let's start the class. So, okay. Yeah, everyone. So let's make it bit interactive. Okay. If you have any suggestions, I'm sure you won't have doubts since it's a core Java. Okay, might be. If you have any suggestions that I can improve myself, please unmute yourself and talk yourself. Okay, and nothing here to stop. Nothing stops you here actually. Okay, yeah. Let's start with what is Java. So I'll keep it very simple. Okay, Java is a programming language. Okay, then why we need Java here and why not other languages? Because other languages lack object-oriented programming features. So which comes like abstraction, inheritance, encapsulation. So these are the pillars which some of the programming languages lack. And if I move towards in Java speciality, we have JDK, JRE, JVM. I'll consider JDK in the way like it's like a bag. Okay, it's like a kit which contains this complete that runtime environment and virtual machine as well. Okay, so whenever I write a program, okay, keep it in a very simple way, it runs in a virtual machine which is inside a development kit. Okay, and to be in a more precise, it's in an environment, and we make this, in a special way, like write once, run anywhere. So which means that I'll write a program in a human readable way, a simple program, okay, to add any sum of numbers or something like that, okay. Then I compiled it, okay, and it becomes into a .class file, okay. So that .class file, I can run it anywhere. That's what it means. So I can write the program in Linux platform or Windows or a Macintosh, anywhere, okay. So I will be writing only once and running anywhere. Just a quick one here, okay. So anyone can answer, okay. If I write a program in my Windows, here, I mentioned that I can run anywhere. So can anyone answer, like, is the Java virtual machine, okay, is it a platform dependent or independent?
Dependent.
Yes, it is platform independent Java code is.
No, I am asking,
JVM is platform dependent.
yeah,
Dependent.
And the
dependent.
Java .class file is platform independent.
yes, thanks for that one. Yeah, okay. So we'll move forward for a very simple program, first Java program, okay. Thank you for answering. I didn't expected that. Okay. Let me. Can you see my code? Please, anyone
Yes,
confirm?
yes, we can see.
Yes.
Just a moment. I just switched to my monitor. Okay. Okay. So yeah, coming to this point. Okay. Anyone guys have a suggestion here for me to write my class in a very better way to avoid any mismatching or inconsistent? Anyone, like you might have some suggestion, like I would have written in a good way, or anything here?
Hi Parvez, this is Chakravarti.
Yeah.
Yeah, in all of the contestants, there are some people who are familiar with the Java, means it's like there is a working experience for a few people, and some people are just starting from basic level. There are some people who haven't learned Java. This is new to them. I
Okay.
think if we start from writing the code from base, from
Okay.
0 to instead of showing all the code, they will panic by seeing all this code, right?
Okay. Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's from my side. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Chakravarti, for that suggestion. Yeah, I'll do that way. Okay. Let me erase everything. Okay. Okay. The first and very important one is, okay, whenever we write a program in a first simple program, okay, we always forget, to write public. Okay. This is, might be our mistake. Okay. We just have our intention, like I want to create a class called foundation, and just they will start with class and foundation. Why I'm stressing much on the public is, whenever I added public here, it will try to understand this class name and with the file name as well. So even you have a requirement whenever you create a program, will start with class, then you go with core Java this way, and you will have one more requirement to create one more program. Okay, class and subject. You can have a number of classes as per your own purpose, okay, in a single file. But when you have a file, okay, which is named as foundation.java, and that class is mentioned inside, then that class must be a modifier of public. Okay. So this is a small hint where people make mistake when they don't feel their file is not compiling. Is that fine, everyone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll first go towards, like, as we have mentioned in our slides, like we have inheritance concept and we have abstraction, encapsulation, those things. So we'll consider this class as a capsule, okay, which contains this class foundation, which contains foundation name, what foundation we are going to study, and we'll keep some ID for that one as well, okay, which is encapsulated in it. Yeah.
Parvesh,
It should be
sorry,
private, right?
sorry to interrupt here, Parvesh.
Yeah.
Probably, I think, as what Chakravarti, right? He said, let's not get into this first. I think I would probably let you run the slides. That has got the better order. We will come to this a little later because people who are totally new to Java may get confused. Right? So this is this will be a good flow once they have something comfortable with them. People who are experienced, they'll be able to follow, but not everybody.
Okay, you want me to go only in a theoretical way?
First, yeah, to begin with that, bit more of theory, yeah, and then we can jump in here and start with Hello World. That's the best way. If you go to the slides, I've actually covered that. Please go to the slides, PPT. Yeah. Just look at the agenda, slides 1, 2. Yes. Yeah, here you come here, then it comes first Java program, then we'll go gradually here. And probably access modifiers, yes, we will cover some subsequently, probably not on day 1.
Okay.
Yeah, please, this can be a better flow is what I think, yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. So sorry guys, like I was just in a flow, I just went through the program. Okay.
That's fine, absolutely fine, Parvesh. Everybody has our own style. Absolutely no problem at all.
Okay.
So this is something, I thought, it could make sense. No problem, absolutely no issues. Please carry on. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So moving forward, like the second point, like OOP features, okay, object-oriented programming. We have pillars like abstraction, encapsulation, and inheritance, and polymorphism. Okay, I'll come detail about it, in upcoming things. So I'll just quickly add JDK, JRA, JVM. Okay, so JVM, Java Virtual Machine. Okay, which is helpful for us, to run the programs. Okay. So basically this JDK, contains the complete package. Like you might have seen when you're working, in a developer way, you would have installed SDK, software development kit. That way it's Java development kit. Okay. And we mentioned it's a platform neutral. Okay. As I covered, I will be writing, only once in any platform, then running it, anywhere, independently. But most importantly, the JVM is platform dependent based on the operating system. As I move like hello world, let's go with the keywords of Java. My editor screen is visible?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's visible. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just seeing my screen, that's why, yeah. So yeah, basically keywords is nothing. The words are the terms which are already predefined by the language, like class or string or integer or float. These are considered as keywords. Like in our programming language, we might have we have studied like break, byte, case, try, catch, char. So these things, you cannot assign it. Like if I add it, let me add it string, and I cannot add it string again. Okay. So I'm unable, I cannot use the string, again and again, or like the reserved keywords. So which is like a wrong, bad programming practices. If I use it, the keywords and all. Likewise, if we want to go through like if, else, break, or switch, so these are the reserved keywords. Okay, and we have data types like string, integer, float, double. So these data types like string, if I consider, if I want to uh, add it in a name, if I want to assign a variable which contains name, city, I can assign it to string data types. Or if it is an integer, like I want to add it any numbers, number values, numeric values, I'll assign it to integer. If it is a float, double, as it follows. And the conditional statements, more importantly, let me put it a scenario. If I'm not studying, what I will be doing. So that way it works. If, in the question itself, if means if you're doing this, then what will be the statement? Consider if you have scored 100, the marks equal to 100, then you will get a grade A. Then again, one more if, else if, okay? If you have scored less than 90 or from 90 to 80, you will be getting a grade of B. So that way, this conditional statements, so there itself, we are putting the conditions, to run our statement based on our requirement. And looping statements. We have consider 100 students or 100, total marks. There we are, we want to process it. So we are using a for loop where we will be using one by one. Like consider there are 100 students. I want to take 100 students name one by one, and I wanted to print it in the console. Okay, I'll be having into an array. Then I will be taking one by one. I'm into printing it, or I will be processing it. And branching. Let's consider branching or decision making as a switch case. Consider you have a scenario where you wanted to mark the system, like in a grade system where the student have got more than 95 mark, grade A. If the student have got grade from 85 to 90, grade B. If the student carries from below 40 to 60, grade C. If it is below 40, if it comes under grade O or D or something like that. And uh, in based on the switch statements, there is one more default statement exists. If nothing works or if any statement works, the default statement works. Basically, in our programming practices, if we have four conditions, A, B, C, D, if nothing works based on our input, consider for the input of marks, we have given more than that, more than 100 marks, like 1,000 or something. Then the default statement will be executed, like you have entered an incorrect value or you have entered invalid value, which is not into the range of marks. So that way the default works when nothing executes. And the most important, arrays. The first thing we want to understand arrays is always a similar data type elements. If you consider string, we'll consider a string of array where it contains animals, tiger, lion, only the string data type elements where the arrays have a fixed, size. You cannot define it dynamically as you run through the program. So that way, if, first thing is into the arrays, the size is fixed. You cannot, change it as the program, progress. Second thing is it has strict, type, which is you need to define it earlier. It is string data type or integer data type or float data type or any complex object data type. Okay. I mean to say, if the array is integer, you can keep it like, like 1, 3. You cannot keep it like 1, 2, 3.3, 4.4, not like that. So it is very strict regarding this. And you can access the elements with the help of its index number. That was the three major things which this array contains. And as you know, string, if you see in a very in a deeper way, string is also an object. Sorry, it's a class. where we, simple way, I'll put it like this. Okay. My code screen is came. Please anybody confirm?
Yes, yes, it's visible.
Okay. So people will always have a question like, I just don't want to go in a coding way, but just for a heads up. Okay. So whenever you create a program, okay, I'll just put it, wait. You will name it like this, John. Okay. And people will have one more doubts like, okay, if it is naming this way, then what about this? So people will, most of the time will ask confusions like, what is the difference between line 6 and 7? Simple. If you're keeping it, in the line 6, it will check, the value John it contains or not. If it is there, it will assign the reference to it. In the line 7, it won't check, it will just create an object. Is it clear here in the string?
Yes.
Or yeah, okay. So basically, okay, now coming to the StringBuffer and StringBuilder. Okay. First, let me put it like what are the advantages and disadvantages between StringBuffer and StringBuilder. So StringBuffer is considered as thread safe. Okay, but StringBuilder is not thread safe. And most of the time, developers consider when they want it, in a synchronized way. So these people will, take a choice of, StringBuffer, and but StringBuffer, has slower performance compared to StringBuilder. Yeah. Okay. Coming back to our slides. Yeah. For pass by value and pass by reference, when we are working, like if you wanted to, like consider a small simple method. Okay, you are going to pass a value, pass the value. So you will be, receiving it into a program of the statements, and you will be executing it, in a normal way. But when you're working with the reference, the value, when you're changing it, it will, internally changes. Like when you pass the reference, the address, you're referencing with the address of the variable. Someone is waiting. Yeah.
One small question. So pass by reference means you're telling like that will reference to the address, right? So we don't have any pointers in Java. So how pass by reference work?
Like when you are, no, you're not exactly interacting with the pointers. Okay. But
Okay.
it has a reference, like whenever a object is there in the Java, okay, it has a hash code for it. Okay. So that way it will reference that address actually where it is actually stored in the memory.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in a conclusion way, like I want to conclude, like when you're working with the pass by reference, okay. So even though
I've actually pinged a link as well. Sorry, I'm not able to speak further properly today. I've shared the link in the chat for pass by reference. Otherwise, you can open that as well. That's an example. And also, I've shared some images from previous trainings in the Google Zoom chat itself. Maybe for the absolute beginners, you can please take a look at that. Right? This image, if you open, it will help you for your compiler versus interpreter. That's absolute fundamentals for the people who don't even know, or from HR to Java they came in. For you guys, it'll be very helpful. And also, Parvez, I thought, probably I'm not sure whether you covered that. The second image I've shared in the Zoom chat itself, especially, typing about the Java program HelloWorld and what all the steps involved, Java C, Java, that's a structure. And I think you are still running only the agenda. So there are under 20 more slides. Each and everything has been explained in detail, not a full-blown program or anything. Just please keep moving ahead of the slides. It's just agenda. Just a quick pointer, then you need to go each slides, right? No problem, we can share it.
okay.
And if there are any questions on any of the topics, certainly, right? We will help you guys, not to worry. Please do share the questions. Okay.
Yeah.
So I've shared the link here for this my own blog. Decade before I've written. You can click on that as well and share.
Thing is, like, when I'm going through it, I am unable to see like who is pinging. I have seen now Lakshmi Madala also have pinged, and Dakshika is also.
Yes, you can click on that other link. That's right, Parvez. We'll be focusing on the screen. That's the reason I interrupted now.
Okay.
So click on the second link. This is an article that I wrote 15 years back. Yeah, it's my own blog, which I don't maintain it now. So this is what you can probably, people can go through that. And this helps everything, Java actually passes everything by value. So not really, even though we say reference, right? Does it really hold to good? So that's what this article explains, right? How, even though internally that refers an object, but we pass the reference, but we pass only by value. The value is what we give it. So you can, right? Everything by value, as Parvesh was explaining. We need to go a bit more about this. We have to come a little, right? Understanding about classes and the objects or the references, data type, custom data type, all that, right? So if you have an understanding of classes and the object, this is what it do about do change my class object, right? The line that says method 1. So even though you pass a reference of an object, you just pass that value. Value is nothing but the address, as what Parvesh said. We are passing the address. That's a value. We are not passing the entire object. But internally, that address is referring to an object in memory that will be modified. If you make any changes, please go through that. It will be very simple English. And if there are any questions, please let me know. Let Parvesh know. We'll be able to help you out. Right? Thanks. Sorry for that. Parvesh, please carry on. Yeah. And you could also tell them about basic program structure. Can you open the other images as well, Parvesh? You can run through.
Yeah.
In the Zoom chat itself, I've shared. In the Zoom chat.
Oh, one moment.
Go to Zoom. Your Zoom.
No, when I'm trying to share, it's
You have
asking
to escape. Press escape. Go to meeting. Go to the Zoom tab itself.
Yeah, I came.
No, we are still seeing the browser, not the Zoom.
Just a moment.
Yeah, let me share for a minute. You are the host, you only can share, right? No problem. So you can open that Zoom window, Parvesh. Zoom chat itself, where you see. Or you want me to send it on WhatsApp?
No, the thing is, just hold on. Like I'll open the image in some other way because it's unable to share the Zoom chat actually.
Okay, no problem. Let me give it to you in WhatsApp.
Is it visible?
Yes, Parvez, it's visible. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
go to the previous image, Parvez. Please open the first image. Maybe I'll just explain a bit other image as well.
A moment, please. Yeah.
Yeah, this is what I prepared it a while ago, right? For my other trainings. Yeah.
Raghavan, regarding that, how Java compiles that one, right?
Yeah. Compiler interpreter. That is also some basics we should cover. Is there in the other slide? If you have gone past the slides, I think you were stuck with only the agenda. You haven't gone past. Yeah, this one. Yeah. See, basically any program that if you take, right, when you say, so there are two phases involved in it. One is the compilation, other is the interpretation, right? So the compilation is something which translates a program written in a high level language like English, because we people, humans, we understand English. On the right hand side, if you see computer, that understands the machine language or binary language, 0 or 1, that's what we do. So whatever we write, let's say, for example, the bottom, let's assume we have an instruction for preparing a coffee. So what do we have? Take a pan, boil the milk, add sugar, mix coffee powder. Simply, right? Just let's not go very deep into that. Just more like a pseudocode algorithm, step-by-step instructions. We can understand the words, right? Take a pan, boil the milk. We understand what do we do, correct? But a computer will not understand exactly in the same case we give it. So we want somebody to actually translate that program, whatever the instruction, what you have written, in a high-level language like English, and that should be converted, translate or convert into a different language, right? That the computer can understand, which is very essential, right? If not, we will not be able to effectively communicate with a device called a computer. And even though we have a lot of people from different linguistic backgrounds, right? Somebody from Tamil, somebody from Telugu speaking, somebody from Kannada speaking or Hindi speaking, etc. So we don't really want to get into that regional language because not everybody would be comfortable. So we take an example. Probably let me share my screen. I'll share the other. Okay, Parvesh, can you make me as a host? It's just absolute fundamentals. You have to make me as a host. Okay, I'll take back the control for this. Just I'll cover this alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hope you're able to see that, guys. Let me know if you're able to see. Right? Can somebody confirm whether we're able to see?
Yes, we can
Raghavan,
see.
it's visible, yeah.
Sure.
Yes,
So there's some absolute basics. People who know it, bear with me. People who don't know, like Lazia or Lakshmi, people who are totally new to the programming, will be helpful for them. I think we are okay to have the refresher, right? So let's say, for example, an user who knows probably any language, English, Tamil, Telugu that we speak, but a computer does not understand that, right? We use a computer basically to perform an operation that will give a faster response. It will save time, and the repetition of tasks, it will be easy for us. That's what we use a computer. But if you speak in any of these languages, for example, this doesn't understand. It's a big question mark to the computer. Person to a computer communication is not possible due to the language being used. Hope you are clear till now. Absolutely fine, right?
Yes,
Can I-
Raghavan, yeah.
Thanks. Now let's understand. I'm just taking step by step. There is a person, probably this was another student in the batch, Manikanta I used, right? He knows Telugu and English. There's another person, girl, let's assume an example, person to person, right? She speaks only English and Tamil, right? So if he uses Telugu as a language, will it be possible for the person to understand the other person?
No.
No,
Why?
Raghavan, yeah.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer. Why?
Because it's a language barrier.
Right.
Both of them don't have common communication. Right?
Correct. Communication is not possible. Even though it's a person to person. See, it's not just only when you speak about person to computer. Even from a person to person, the communication is not possible because the language being used by the sender is not known to the receiver, right? So it's certainly not possible. So what should we do then? If Manikanta uses the language, other language called English, it's all in green. Is the communication possible now?
Yes.
Why?
Because both of them know English.
Correct. That's why this is full in green. Green means all good. Person-to-person communication is possible because of a common language known to both of them. Clear? Is it fine? So far we are good.
Yes, Raghavan.
Nothing great. It's very simple, right? Now let's assume interesting scenario. This person knows only Telugu. Other person knows only Tamil. So what do they use? And probably any language that they use, will it be of any use? How do they communicate? First of all, these two don't have a common language, right? And even if you use English as well, see, this person knows Telugu, other person knows Tamil. And even though he uses English, any language that he uses, will it be of any use? Be it Telugu or English, will the other person be able to understand?
No.
Why? Same problem, because the language is not common, right? So how else do you think these two people can communicate? There are two ways. One, they can use a sign language. Obviously, sign language is simple. Again, we cannot take a complete, conversation. Just a simple signs, right? Okay, can you move a bit or anything, a simple conversation they can accomplish. Or what is the other alternate? They should use a translator.
Translator should be there. Third person translator who knows both the languages.
Correct. So now the communication is possible through a mediator or translator who knows both the languages. What is that? This guy knows Telugu, this girl knows Tamil, but this guy sitting in between should know both the languages. In that case, it is still possible. Yes or no? He will understand Telugu, but translate it into Tamil and give it to her. When she responds, he will understand Tamil and convert it into Telugu and give it to this guy back. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. All of you are with me so far? Nothing great. Can I have a response from people? Not just one or two. I don't know.
Yes.
Right? Okay, great. So this is an absolute fundamentals of how a communication is made possible between two different people who do not have a common language, who do not have something in common. Yes or no?
Yes, Raghavan.
Yes.
That is what is happening here. Human versus computer. Computers can generally understand a binary language. The word binary means it's two states, 0 and 1. That's why we say 0 and 1 are bits binary digit. It will be 0 or 1, on or off, that's all. It doesn't understand anything else. But humans, we don't understand this. We understand the spoken languages. Probably can add anything, right? Germany, Spanish, anything Mexican, right? English, Hindi, Arabic, Urdu, any language that we speak. So if you bring it down here, this is the summary. Let's assume now we have an instruction which you want a machine to perform. We cannot directly inform the computer to understand this. So we need somebody called a translator who understands English and binary. Making sense? The computer understands binary, human understand English. Let's say we have a sum of two numbers as a program as well. How do we write a pseudocode? Enter number 1, get number 1, enter number 2. Meaning enter means user will feed it. And the system program will receive that into a variable n2. Then we say sum equal to n1 plus n2 and print sum. Is this a confusing program? No, right? A simple addition of two numbers, correct? Right? So if you want this to be, is it confusing, guys? This program? Addition of two numbers, sum of two numbers?
Yeah.
No, right? Is it confusing or?
No, it's clear. Yeah.
It's a simple program, but we want it to be executed as a program. We want somebody, we will write this is a pseudocode. We want somebody to convert that so that which the computer can understand. So this is called two. This one is a machine language and the other thing is binary. They are interchangeably used. This is like assembly language, right? Microprocessor. It's a basic unit of computer architecture. Like load, sum. These are the keywords that this a program is at the lowest level possible. We can make it. So the translator is called compiler or interpreter. We have some two entities, right? That's called either compiler or interpreter who helps us converting the program written in a high level. Why we say high level? Because it is at the topmost, the human can understand. The computer, does it have a brain on its own? Does it have its own thinking capacity, computer?
No, Raghav.
It's a dumb, that's good, correct. It's a dumb terminal, we say, right? But humans have the super intelligence. That's why we say it's a high level language, it's a low level language. Nothing great, right? It's at the lowest level possible because we need to instruct each and every step as to how we should perform. Whereas for a human, we have our own intelligence. So it's a high level, that's a low level. That's conversion is possible through an intermediate tool called compiler or interpreter. Then what is the difference between compiler and interpreter? Let's say we have a whole program, right? If the compiler is the one that translates the entire program at once and translates it and give it to the computer. The whole menu, if it's a whole program at once, it converts, that's a compiler. Whereas it takes step by step. Let's say, for example, take a pan. When there is no pan, right, then it will stop. Step by step. Oh, it will stop saying that, hey, there is no pan available, right? Assume you might have seen in the movies or typically to a child, when you give an instruction, what it will do. It will stop at the first level itself. Yes or no? I don't have this available, right? Rather than waiting for all, that doesn't make sense as well, right? The first step itself, it will stop. Step by step execution, it will do. That is the case, it's called interpreter. Compiler takes the whole and it'll report all the errors, whatever we have. Whereas an interpreter will run step by step. Whenever it's stuck at a particular line, it will stop there. It doesn't go to the rest of the program. So that's a two different, they are also software, two different components helping us to convert the source code written in a high level language into a machine language or a low level language that a computer can understand. Right? Any questions on this?
No,
No,
Raghav.
Raghavan.
It's clear.
No,
Done.
Raghav.
Thank you. So the compilers, what we use is C, C++, Java, all these languages you might have seen, correct? All these you must have heard, C, C++, Java, they're all using compilers. Whereas the interpreters, typically basic Python, they're all interpreted languages. So step by step, every line it executes it. That's how they are structured, right? But Java is a bit special. It's both compiled and interpreted. We use both of them, right? We use both of them. That is where we have this structure. So for any, are we clear or any questions till this step? I'll pause it. Are there any questions from anybody?
It's clear, Raghav.
No.
It's clear.
Very good. Thank you, guys. So now let's get into a Java program, assuming that the same program I write in English. So enter N1, get N1, meaning I'm getting into a variable. Enter N2, get N2, sum equal to N1 plus N2, print sum. So this also we are clear. First step, we write a program. Assuming that I'm typing into a program called sum of two numbers.java, but we are not writing anything in Java for now. Assuming that this is a Java program, just understand. All right. So we have a program. So what do we need? Two-step process. First, we need a compiler. As I told you, Java is a compiled and interpreted language, right? Java compiler. So we need a Java compiler that will help us convert this program into an intermediate language, machine language. You look at it, right? This is the second step. Then this intermediate step, what is being created, that is what we have. It is actually from a Java program, it's called .java is a source code, what you write in English. And the compiled, the translated code is produced in a file called a .class. Just for your example, as of now, take it .class. That the .class file is what we executed by, that is what we executed. We don't directly load this program, but rather we load this intermediate bytecode that is generated. That we executed. So there are two stages: compilation, execution, right? So third step is we load this and finally we execute that, right? So the actual command that is being used, as what Parvez started in the beginning, JDK, that is being shipped with a lot of executables. So Java C and Java are the two different commands we use to make a step-by-step processing of a program. So this is a HelloWorld program we have. Let's assume public class HelloWorld we write. Public static void main. This is all probably you know what. a structure. Let's not really worry much about it. Assuming that this is a program we have. So if you want to compile it, we use Java C. Maybe let me take it. And I do have it here, right? Don't worry about the syntax right now. We'll explain that a bit later. Okay. This is what the simplest ever program that we can write in Java, as everybody says HelloWorld, right? So this is a unit class. That is the ultimate structure that we need to write. We will get into the details of it a little later. And you must have, how many of you have experience in C++ programs?
Yes, we have in C and C++
You have.
as Java.
Right. So the main is more like, entry point of a program. Any program that you want to execute, it's more like a master switch. When you get into the house, you'll typically turn on the lights or fan, right? If you have a master switch, you'll turn on the master switch. Yes or no? When you
Yes,
open the door,
Raghavan. Yes.
something like that you can
Yeah.
think of. This is the main entry point of a program. And we are printing it. This is a construct. We are printing hello world. That's the only aim of this program, nothing else, right? So if you have this program, I have two steps. First, let me write this. There's only hello world at Java I have. I need to invoke a command called javac. It's an executable, something like, calculator or command. In Windows, you use command, right? CMD, it will open a command prompt, terminal. Something like that is an executable. So javac is an executable command. I give this hello world.java. If there are no errors, if you look at it, what has it produced?
.+5.
So the source code, what was written in high level English level language, is converted into an intermediate file called a dot class. The same name, hello world. So how we can see, you can see that here, this is the actual assembly level language, right? It's actual dot class. What does it say? Please pay attention. It is compiled from what?
Hello world.
.java, right? What does it say? Same construct we have. You see, code hello world is a constructor. We will get into that later. Load invoke special. Let's come to this main method, right? Java.lang.string, what we give. Do you see that main method? Get static, LDC. These are all constants. Say string hello world. Do you see that? I'm printing hello world. LDC is load constant. It is loading a constant. Correct? Get static is to get a field, Java system.out. Do you see that? System.out. That's a static reference. Don't worry much about it right now. We'll explain all that later. Finally, invoke virtual, what it is doing, println. It is printing. What constant we want to print? It is loading a constant. Then it says return. But you are able to make some sense out of this. It's a assembly level language. Yes or no? Compiled from dot class, compiled from
Yes.
dot Java class, similar to what I have told you here, load, sum, etc. Are you able to understand it? Associate, load, sum.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
an assembly
Yes,
level
sir. Yeah.
language. So this dot class is what we will be executing further, but we don't give the dot class. That is what Parvez was explaining. We don't give the file name, but we just want the class name, Java hello world. Now, do you see hello world is printed?
Yes, Raghavan.
This is what we want the program to do. So it's printed, it has printed, right? So this is where I think quite a few of you are responding earlier, right? Java is platform neutral, we say, because earlier languages like C or C++, we used to run this in different machines. So they had different execution for each platform, right? For Windows, it's a Turbo C. If you take a C program, Turbo C, Borland C, etc. we had. For Linux, we had a GNU C compiler, GCC. How many of you can understand the terms that I'm talking about? This is
Yeah.
the new C compiler. This is GCC in short, we see, or C++ compiler as well. But this is for Unix, right? This is for Unix. If you want to write a C or C++ program, this is what we do, right? And we have Turbo C. And can somebody correlate this? WORA and C for Windows. Can somebody
Yeah, I have worked with Turbo C.
worked on it, right? So the way in which a C program is compiled and executed in Windows is very different from the way it is compiled and executed in Linux. There is no consistency with respect to each platform. When you say platform, it means operating system. OS in short. Like Windows, Linux, Macintosh, or Mac. That is what it's all about, right? That's a platform when you say. So if any program that is being written in the earlier languages like C or C++, the output was not consistent and guaranteed. The data types, memory allocation, all that was very different. That is what Java had to break, saying that, boss, you don't need to struggle all this. I will give you a Java compiler, which will convert your source code into a dot class. That is a byte code, intermediate form called byte code, that you load it. But this JVM, probably that's what we will look at it later as well, that is platform dependent. So we have JVM for Windows. Somebody was answering it very right when Parvesh was asking a question. JVM for Windows, JVM for Linux, JVM for Mac. That is platform specific, but the code what is compiled is constant. That this class, the dot class file, when you do Java P is a disassembler, this will never change. This will always be constant. The way in which the bytecode generation logic, it's always constant. That is why we say Java is actually, there are two formats we have. What is that? Yeah. Yeah, the bytecode. WORA, write once, run anywhere. WORA or platform neutrality, or we can also call platform independence. That is the key meaning behind it, right? It is possible through bytecode. The intermediate code that is getting generated by Java compiler is called bytecode. That is platform independent. It's a machine on its own. That we load it to JVM, then we run this program, right? So this is just for an example to explain the program, what you have written now. So this is the curly brace we call. It's more like in a simple English statement, right? My name is so-and-so, I'm attending Java classes online. The class today is on the absolute basics, but necessary. Like how a sentence is a basic unit of communication in English, a class is a basic skeleton of a Java program. Clear so far?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Raghav, yes,
Yeah.
it's clear.
It's very, very essential, right? Main method is the entry point of a Java program, like how we turn on the fan or light upon entering into a house, as I just told you. Similar to a full stop in an English statement. What do you mean by a full stop when you write an English statement? What does it mean? Full
The
stop.
Sentence is
statement has
ended.
ended.
Correct. When you read multiple statements, you will give a pause. Yes or no? How do you read the statement? Can somebody read this for me? You can fill in your name. Who do I have volunteer now? Who can help us?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can I read?
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Chakravarti. I am attending Java classes online. The class today is on absolute basics, but necessary.
Right. So did anybody observe Chakravarti? Thank you, Chakravarti. Was actually giving a pause in between the statements. Yes or no?
Yes, Raghav.
Why do you think he put a pause? What made you put a pause, Chakravarti?
Because full stop indicates that sentence has been ended,
Right.
and
So
we
that's
have starting the new sentence.
excellent. So we have that fundamentals in order to give a pause. Something like that for a Java program to get executed, we have a semicolon in a program. If you look at it, we have a semicolon. The semicolon is a statement separator, right? Statement ending. with which the compiler can understand that all the C++ languages have the same construct, right? You need to have a semicolon to indicate that a statement, executable statement is ending. That's what we have this all about. All right. Any questions, guys, so far?
No.
No, we are good.
No.
Thanks. So this is another one. Can we talk about this as well now? JDK area. I'm not sure. Parvesh, did you cover that, or you want? I can cover.
Yeah, you can cover. I just went kind of fast.
Okay.
Guys, if
These
you
are-
want to have, want explanation, you can please ask.
Yeah. Guys, you have a few minutes to cover that. I will take it up tomorrow. I think we have quite a few wanted to cover, but yeah, that's fine. So, okay, shall we cover this as well?
Yes, Dragon, we can.
Yes.
JDK, JRE.
Yeah. So please pay attention here. This is a very important and interesting topic, right? Let's assume, okay, do I have another volunteer? Chakravarti, thank you. You have volunteered. Do I have one more volunteer? Another volunteer?
Yeah.
Yes, I can. Okay.
Sure. Who is that? Who is that? You have a female volunteer. That's fine. Who is that? Is it?
This is Lakshmi.
Hi, Lakshmi. Thank you very much. Lakshmi, can you please read this for me?
Eat fruits, drink water, take push-ups, and GKX.
Right. So do you understand all of these?
The last one I can't understand. GKX.
First three?
First three, okay.
Okay. So, but what did you do actually, Lakshmi? After reading the statement, what did you do? You
Just I did it, and that's
But
it.
did you
I
really
understood.
perform that operation? Did you eat a fruit?
No,
Did you drink water?
no,
Did you take push-ups?
no.
Absolutely no. You understood. Am I right? Guys, all of you
Yes.
can have your attention, please. Everybody, please come to me. Stay with me. This is a very interesting concept and very fundamentals, right? Do I have everybody with me?
Yes,
Full focus.
Dragon.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you very much. Yeah. So
Yes.
let's understand if there are words, assuming this is a program, right? See, how do you make sense on this, Lakshmi? Eat, drink, take push-ups, based on what you say you understood and you don't understand this.
These words, which we use daily, right? So
You
which
have
we
your own
use daily, or
dictionary. Your
yes, own dictionary.
right?
Yes.
Right. Likewise, if you want to perform an operation, first you need to go through and understand it is making sense or not, right?
Mm.
Or no?
Yes, yes.
So for that understanding, basically for English statement, we have an English dictionary, correct?
Yes.
Likewise, if you have a computer program, say in Java, for example, we need to understand each keyword. Yes or no? Let's assume I go to here, HelloWorld.java. Just give me a minute. I'm doing something like this. Can somebody make sense? What did I do?
Yeah, if you have modified the system.
Added M.
What did I do, sir?
M. Added.
Added another M, right? Now I do this. What does it say?
System
System
does
M
not
doesn't
exist.
exist.
Okay, why does it do so? So the very basic thing for a program to be understood, we use Java C, yes or no? Java compiler.
Yes.
First step is Java C. Don't forget this, correct? We use Java compiler. The compiler will go through the whole program and understands every step and whether it is making sense or not. This is more like GKX, correct? Like how Lakshmi is not able to understand GKX, the Java compiler is not able to understand system with the WM. Yes or no?
Yes.
So the understanding is what done through kit called JDK. The Java development kit will help the compile, more like a dictionary, will help the compiler to understand whether the program written in a source code high level language like English is making sense or not. If it doesn't, then it will throw an error like what we have seen now, saying that, boss, I am a Java compiler. I don't know what is this called a system with double M, and I will report an error saying that it does not exist. Yes or no? So far.
Yes, Dragon. Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Yes, sir.
Now, let's assume what are these eat, drink, take, right, Lakshmi? What do you call these as? Eat, drink, take in English. What do they have a name?
Eat. So they're verbs, actions.
Actions.
Right? Any action we need to
Actions.
perform. But where do you really take an action, Lakshmi? Let's say eat fruits, drink water, take push-ups. Do you do it right away where you are seated right now?
It's not possible,
Reach
right?
to the substance.
Why? Why it's not possible? Very good. Please go ahead. Why it's not possible? Why do you think it's not possible?
Because we don't have all the things at the same time, right?
Exactly. Very good. Go ahead. What you don't have with you? In order to perform an
Resources.
correct. Very good. Okay. What resources? Go ahead. What resources you don't have?
If you want to eat, we need to have something to eat. If you want to drink, we need to have something to drink, like water, coffee,
Right.
tea.
Assuming you
We
have
don't have
fruit
any.
next to you. You have a fruit next to you.
Yes.
But will you still be preferring to eat just like that then and there where you are seated?
No, the resources are not there, right? So it's not
What
possible.
resources? That's what I want you to go on. You need a plate and a fruit, a knife,
Fruit.
right?
Yes,
To chop
yes.
it, to cut it into pieces and eat. Right? So you would prefer to have a kitchen. Go to kitchen and perform the operation. Yes or no?
Yes.
Where in the kitchen you will have a knife, plate, and even dining table to sit and eat. Whether yes, all of you are agreeing with me.
Yes.
Yes.
Likewise,
Yes, Raghavan.
if you want
Yes.
to take a push-up, where you go? You go
Gym.
to where you have an equipment, trainer, and if you want a workout music. Yes or no?
Yes.
So this is called an environment, a suitable environment that gives you all the necessary resources to perform the action. What is that? To perform the operation or the action. And what is that is giving you?
JRE.
Runtime environment. The word itself indicates an environment. JRE, Java runtime environment. Is it clear, guys?
Yeah,
So
clear.
you would understand, but you don't perform it right now, correct? Okay, I need to drink water. Oh, I understood. But I will perform when I get up and go myself to push myself to the kitchen, then I'll take water. Or I'll drink water, I'll take fruits, eat fruits. Likewise, okay, the trainer says, do jogging at 5 o'clock every day. But you are hearing this at 6 p.m. the previous evening. So do you perform it right away? Go to the jogging at 5 a.m.
No.
No.
You wait until next day, correct? For the right time to come. So there is an environment required for us to perform the operation. So that is what we say JDK, Java Development Kit. It helps programmer to develop his program or application using the built-in APIs. What is an API? Application Programming Interface. So example system out println. What do we have here? It's a method. API is nothing but a method. We call the method, right? Println is a method, meaning there is a name of a method. You open with a parenthesis and pass the arguments. It's a method, reusable. I hope you understand that, right? A method,
Yeah.
right? System
Yeah,
predefined class in JDK. Out is a static variable of a system class representing the output stream. That is what you see static here. Yes or no? Get static, correct? It's a static reference. We refer from a class. And println is a method to print something. Make sense? We are actually calling the library JDK more like dictionary, right? Let's assume I have a word. Probably I say conglomerate. Yesterday I used a word. Or probably I would say resurrection. Can somebody help me the meaning of it? Resurrection?
To take rebirth, like reincarnation.
Oh, that is reincarnation is different. Who said that? Resurrection.
year.
Who's? Sorry?
Last year.
Last year. Okay. Probably thank you for adding that. But reincarnation is different from resurrection, right? Resurrection, probably I assume I don't know. What do you do last year? If you don't know the meaning, what do you do?
Go to Google and check the meaning.
One is Google. Okay, you are 2K kid, is it? What if you are from previous era?
We used to check in dictionary.
Yeah.
Dictionary. Yeah.
So we all have a dictionary, either app or go to dictionary. Then what do? You search for yes or no.
Yeah.
The dictionary has got a word available. Then we go and search for the meaning, right? That's what exactly we are doing it here. System out println is available in the Java compilers dictionary, as I told you. System is a class, out is a class, println is a method, right? So the Java compiler goes and verifies, so do I have a word called resurrection? Okay, yes, then what is the meaning? I understand. Do I have a method word class called system with a double M? Does Java class has got JDK?
No.
There is
No.
So it's pretty evident what we have in front of our eyes. It threw an error. Yes or no? It doesn't have. Yes or no? Let me
Yes,
type
Raga.
here. Okay, gex is different. GKX, do I have a word?
No.
Let's assume for the sake of it. What does that say?
No interesting.
That's what exactly we have it here as well. Does not exist. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, Raga. Yes, Raga.
Yes, yes.
Similar to GKX, correct? So JDK has got an application programming interface to develop a classes and just compile. But in order to execute, what do we do? JRE, a suitable environment that provides the necessary utilities or accessories or resources to perform the necessary action efficiently. Clear?
Perfect.
Yeah, clear.
So let's assume a coffee making machine. For coffee, what do we really need? Essential, like milk, coffee powder, sugar, etc.
Powder,
But
sugar.
implicit hidden, what do we take it for granted in the kitchen?
Stove later.
Stove,
Yeah.
lighter, fuel, pan, and
Fine.
what?
Yes,
But we
what?
don't necessarily mention that. We get it all available in the kitchen. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Raga. Yes, yes.
So that is what the runtime environment. Runtime. Runtime means what? It's a running time. Let's say, for example, travel, movie, anything we say running time, right? Meaning actual execution is performed. So that's called runtime. Java runtime environment. A place where you have necessary resources to perform an action with respect to a Java program execution. Is it clear, guys?
Yeah.
Is it clear?
Yeah, clear. Raga.
yeah,
Yes,
clear.
Raga.
Yes, it's clear.
So let's take the another conclusion of sum of, okay, I'll demonstrate one more thing as well. Let's take a sum of two numbers program. Let's assume 3 and 2 equal to 6. Okay. Is there any difficulty? Int is a data type. For now, you understand that we mentioned that as a number. Just take it that way. Anybody has any difficulties in understanding the program?
No.
I
No.
declare a
No.
variable with the initial value, and I declare a variable called sum to take the sum, and I print it here. Any questions here?
No.
So how do I execute a program? Can somebody help me? Do I have a volunteer?
First, we compile it
Java
using
C?
JavaC command. JavaC.
New volunteers?
Java C, sum of two numbers dot Java.
Okay, we have an error. Just a minute, sorry. It's not another language. This is not Python. Yeah. So what do we have now?
We have dot class file.
Obviously, when I do this, now do you see that, guys? Inside the main, what do we do? Constant store, push, store, load, add. More or less, you don't need to understand everything, but you're able to making sense, right? One constant is loaded, constant 3, right? And we are storing the variable 2, loading 1, loading 2, and we are adding, storing into third variable. And then system, this we know, get static, load 1, load 2, load 3. What is load 1? What was stored 1? I'm printing what? Sum of n1, n2, and sum. 3 variables I'm making use of it, right? So what was stored in first variable, I'm loading it here, n1 and n2. And finally, I'm storing as a third variable. I'm printing it here. I want all of them to be printed. Yes or no? N1, N2, N3.
Yes.
Are you able
Yes.
to make sense of this? Low-level program
sir.
was converted.
Yeah,
Correct?
yeah.
Now I type Java sum of two numbers. You get the value. Correct?
Yeah, correct. Sir.
Any questions on this?
No,
No,
Raghav, let's
no,
take
Raghav.
it.
Just give me one more minute. I would do one mistake here. Just pay attention. What I have changed now? I made some changes to the program, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
You would have a better understanding of how I say Java C compiler. Okay, what had happened? Give me a minute. It is not what I would. I should not do this mistake. Wait. Right. So, how many errors did I make? Two errors. What are those? First, there is a colon expected. It says N1 plus N2. There is no operator here. Yes or no?
Yeah.
And it's one thing. Give me a minute. I'll make one more change here. As this we already knew. So I'll also tell you that I'll remove the dot class file. So what do I have now? I only have a dot Java.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dot Java.
Now I do that sum of two numbers dot Java. I made an error probably, right? Why it is not? Maybe give me a minute. I think the version of Java that I use is more advanced. Just give me a minute. Sorry about that. Let's assume I change this as a different way. All right. So I make it into right. Do you see the errors I purposefully made because the compiled version is different that I use, right? Do you see the errors? Please pay attention, all of you.
Yeah.
How many errors the program
Yeah,
has got?
Raghav. 2 errors.
And it very clearly indicates the line number as well. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Line number 8, package system does not exist. Line number 10.
10.
So do you agree with me the fact that the compiler translates the whole program and reports all the errors at once?
Yes.
Yes.
So with an
Yes.
interpreter, what do you think it would have happened?
Line by line.
Line
It
by
would have
line.
stopped at 8 itself.
Very
It
good.
would have stopped at Java 8.
It's
Excellent.
won't show
Exactly. It doesn't even show up, come to the next line.
next.
Right? Now let me do this. Do I have a dot class file generated?
No,
Answer is very simple, right? Why?
because there is
Because there are
Installation
errors.
failed.
There are errors.
There is an error. It doesn't go beyond. So that's the ultimate conclusion that a compiler translates the whole source code into once. If there are any number of errors, it will report everything at once. Is that correct? If it has not scanned the entire program, how do you think a compiler would have reported all the errors? Yes or no?
Yes.
Agreed? So there is a proof. Okay, there's again the example we have given. A programmer gives the input, user input that we give, sum of two numbers, and this is a system input, whatever the memory, what we take it, that's what we generate an output as well. For a program to work, we need two different inputs, right? One is a user-defined input, what we give. There are other components that is required, that's JRE, right? When you execute a program, the memory, ALU, arithmetic, logic unit, all that comes into picture. Using, because the storage we need, yes or no? Where do you think it stores, sir? The program that we have looked at it, store, push, these are all assembly language, right? Where do you store? Okay, do I have a different volunteer who has not spoken it so far? I think I heard from Lakshmi Chakravarti. Thank you very much. Do I have other volunteers? There's somebody who has not spoken it. Lasi also spoke.
Yeah, Raghavan.
Who is that? Teja?
Teja.
Hey, Teja, great. Can you please tell me the sum? Okay, arithmetic operation I want you to perform, Teja, right?
Yeah.
10 plus 2,
12.
14 minus 5,
9.
14 minus 5 into 6,
9.
54.
54.
50.
4, 23 into 56 plus 44. You're looking for a calculator, right, Teja?
Yeah.
Why?
Yes, yes.
That's what
Yes,
exactly
yes.
I wanted. Why? Why you look for a calculator?
Because it was a long.
It was not a
Complicated.
simple number. Yeah, it was not a
Yeah.
simple number that you
Simple
can
number.
store it in your memory, in your own human memory, brain.
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yes, Raghavan.
Correct? So you
Yeah.
wanted some storage unit using which you will store the number and perform the operation. That is what exactly is happening here, sir. Store, load. It is storing the value first in one place in memory, and it is loading it later. Yes or no?
Yes.
So that storing, where do you think it stores the computer? That is the actual memory and arithmetic logic unit. That's a fundamental of computer architecture. That's again from runtime environment, you get it all. That's what I wanted to prove it here, demonstrated here, right?
Okay.
So both of these put together, user-defined input and system input, systems components, you get an output. Say 23 plus 45, you say that 68 is an output.
60.
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, that's some absolute fundamentals I just wanted to cover. So any questions on this? Sorry, we have extended the time, but I hope it was useful to you guys, right?
So
Yeah.
in memory means it will store in RAM or a hard disk or
That's a
cache
great
memory.
question. That's a great question. So ultimately, all these programs get stored in RAM, random access memory for a program. The hard drive is a secondary storage, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. That's a good question, guys. Who was that?
Thank you, Raghavan.
Last year, right?
This is Lakshmi.
Lakshmi. Very good question, Lakshmi. Thank you. Right?
Thank
Okay. So any questions, guys? Now you understand the terms compilation, interpretation, JDK, JRE, Java Virtual Machine.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna.
One
Yes,
more.
Raghavan, it's clear.
Yeah. JVM is a virtual thing, right? It doesn't exist. JVM is a specification, Java Virtual Machine. It's more like a blueprint. Like how we want to, okay, let me tell you the fact. Can somebody read this for me? What is it?
Coffee. Take a pen, boil the milk.
It's just a menu, more like a menu structure, correct?
Menu.
Step-by-step instruction. Does it give me a coffee on its own? Just this, can I drink this?
No, we need to prepare.
Yes. What should I do? Using which I need to really put the ingredients and get a coffee. I need to construct a coffee, prepare a coffee. I need to have a real milk. Yes or no? I need to have a real
Yeah.
pan. This is virtual. This is just an abstract thing, right? Doesn't exist in reality. Yes or no?
Yes.
Likewise, JVM is a virtual machine, is a specification. But the JRE, the runtime environment, right? That is what ultimately it is providing you for one program. When you run it, that's a runtime environment is real. JVM is virtual. Got it? So that's the fundamental difference. Bytecode, we have covered. Platform neutrality, Java and bytecode, you would understand. We have done through this as well. Yes?
Yes.
First Java program, HelloWorld,
Yes.
Java, C, Java. Any questions on this so far?
No.
So probably this, I think, Parvesh had covered. It's already very late in the right. We've been running this for close to 2 hours, right? Parvesh, anything else you want to add, or maybe we can catch up the rest of things later?
Maybe we can catch up the questions. I saw many people were texting
Sure.
in the chat box. Yeah.
Let me go through that. Sorry, I'm probably managing myself better, guys. Sorry, I had to go through a dental surgery today. That's why I couldn't really be very active, right? Where was the question here? I think No, I don't see any questions.
No
No, I
questions.
meant to say, like, not in the chat box. From
Okay,
the
yeah,
open
any
questions.
questions,
Yeah.
guys? Yeah. Yeah, maybe rest of things probably we can cover that later. Tomorrow's class. Is it fine, guys? Already it's enough time.
Yeah, fine.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
Yes,
Sure.
yes, Raghav. Yeah.
Okay, so hopefully, I think you are. How do you feel the session, the pace?
It was very nice. Good.
Raghavan, one question here.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so as we know that JDK is used for the development purpose and JRE is the
Mm.
way to run the program because it's providing the environment.
Yeah.
But I know that Java is a free, is open source.
Mm.
So why they have created like this two? Why not they created like only one box? Okay, and internally it has both. They intentionally made it two JDK and JRE for some optimization, or why don't they just create
Very,
one?
very good question, Dhananjay. Really appreciate that. Right? Fantastic question. Not very had asked. Many people had asked this question. I'll tell you why. Especially when you write a program and ship it. Right? Assuming that, Dhananjay, just for the sake of a discussion, I am your client. You are the offshore developer, right? You are in an offshore development team. You are a developer, you write your program. Yes, Dhananjay?
Yeah.
You write the program for you. Mostly what you need is JDK to compile it. Obviously, you need JRE as well. JDK as well comes inbuilt with that, right? Runtime environment to execute it. But once you ship the product, meaning you develop the program, check in the source code and make in typically Java world, we call it as .war or .ear as an artifact. That's how we bundle it. In Windows, we call it as .exe. Yes.
Yeah.
Likewise, for Java program, it is .jar, Java archive file or web archive file, .war we say, or .ear, enterprise archive file. In order to run that program, all I need is JRE. I don't need JDK. So the Java, the conceptually they have devised so that while executing the program, Dhananjay, here, see the developer is cut off. Developer is sitting in India, for example, right? And the server, the client is running in USA. I need only JRE, sir. I don't need JDK at all. So that was what the concept behind it. I hope that helps.
Yeah. So does JDK took a lot of memory, or like
not
what is the harm if you give JDK to the client? I know that it's not required.
No harm in it, but JDK, as you said, it's not about memory, but it's very huge. I don't need all of them, right? Once it is compiled, it's only for the compilation. You need a lot of runtime, compile time libraries. You need it, but for the runtime, probably a bit of a baggage. I would accept. Right, but it's not the main concept is not only on that, to the best of my knowledge, right? And it's not about memory. Memory is more like you need to load everything. I don't think that could have been the reason, right? There's only for a separation of concerns. You don't need. It's more like what I'll tell you. Probably a best example. Assume you want to order a biryani, Dhananjay. I don't know whether you're a biryani fan. What is your favorite food, Dhananjay?
Biryani only.
Excellent. You order from some biryani, whatever, Hyderabadi biryani, right? What do you expect in order to, when the biryani is prepared, what do you expect, how do you expect the biryani to be delivered to you?
It has to be final product where I can just eat it.
No, you just want the biryani alone, the cooked rice alone with the masalas and vegetable, or you need the kadai, spoon, oil, all the raw ingredients with the stove also you want to be parcel shipped.
Oh, I got it. I got the answer actually. Yeah.
Thanks. Got it?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. But that's a very good question. I really liked it. Thank you very much for asking that.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks for your nice explanation.
Excellent. My pleasure.
Sir, one doubt. So in JDK, we have JRE. In JRE, we have JVM, right? So directly the client can have JVM, right? So why do the client need a JRE as well?
Virtual JVM, right? Is virtual, just a specification. So you need to talk in terms of JRE. That JRE is nothing but the Java. How many commands that have executed so far? You look at it. How many commands have executed so far? Java C.
We executed 3 commands.
Java P. Forget about Java P. It's a development tool. This Java is nothing but JRE. We invoke a virtual machine. Conceptually, it's a virtual machine, but we create a runtime environment by using this command. Right? So you don't confuse about JVM. Talk about JRE and JDK.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Is it helpful, or you have subsequent question?
It's fine. It's okay. Yeah, it's fine.
Thank you. All right. Any other questions? Anybody? Okay. I think it's enough time we have covered. Probably, yeah, a little more just to go about it, right? These are things maybe we can catch up. I don't know whether how I still be able to, right? I took some tablets and joined the class further. Let's see. Probably Parvez, I'll share the rest of this also. I can share you guys. So where do we have that? What is that? Here it is. This is what I've added that. Right, Core Java refresher 2. This is how the syllabus we have scheduled, right? Maybe tomorrow we need to skip that a bit. We need to cover basic programs we'll cover. And then this is the other objective. Third day objective is this, as I've already told in the beginning of the class. Then advanced Java will go like this, and we do some programs as well. Are you guys okay to do some projects, small programs as a project in the interim?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Raghavan, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Thank you very much. Thanks everyone for joining. If you don't have any more questions.
Raghavan, can we get this slide also, like just for the revision purpose?
Sure. Will very well share it, sir. I'll do that. No problem. Right? I will be sharing that. Dhananjay, no problem.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks a lot, guys, for joining. Have a great day and good evening. We'll catch up again tomorrow.
Thanks for your time, Raghavan. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Raghavan.
Thank you. Thanks.
Hi, Raghavan.
Hey. Yes.
Yeah, in yesterday's induction session, we discussed that we will have a common group like WhatsApp group.
Yes, we'll be
Something.
creating. Thanks for reminding. Parvesh, can you please, maybe if you are all okay, I don't know who has dropped off. Can you share your mobile numbers? I think I have already got from most of you in LinkedIn, but if it is okay, can you please share this in the chat here? Your mobile number,
Yes.
you use it for WhatsApp, with which we'll create a group. Thanks for that, reminding that, Chakravarti. Yeah. Parvez, can you please make a note of this and help me with that, please?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thanks for that, Chakravarti. I would request all of you,
Yeah.
please do share your what's the number that you use for WhatsApp. Yeah. And I'll be sharing the materials as your reference, right? Okay. Thank you, guys. Take care. Yeah. Thanks everyone for joining. Parvez, you can copy paste the numbers from the chat.
Yeah, you don't end the meeting or else it will be the closed.
Sure, no problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think we got from all, Parvesh, Bhaskar, Dhananjay, Lasya, Yatish, Lakshmi. You can blindly copy paste them. Don't copy one at a time. We'll just drag and drop it. I think I can.
Sure.
I'll give it to you in this thing, our JavaFest recession group. Yeah. Teja, Suman, Chakravarti, remaining whoever is not available with us that they have not shared it, we can get it tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Thanks, Parvesh. Okay. Shall we
Yeah, okay,
close?
Raghavan. Yeah.
Think.
Good night, Raghavan. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you all, guys. Bye.